Today I'm going to show you how to clean a cast iron skillet when you have something stuck on. In this case we have scrambled eggs and they are stuck on. I intentionally cooked them all the wrong way to show you that we can even clean this off a cast iron skillet with the method I'm going to show you. And it will be easy on your seasoning. It won't harm your seasoning at all. You're going to need a scraper. This is a Lodge scraper. You can find them pretty much any place that sells Lodge cast iron skillets. It's just a piece of hard plastic that has kind of a sharp edge. You're going to need some coarse salt. I use kosher salt or sea salt, and table salt will even work in a pinch, and a scrubby. This is a loom knit scrubby. You can find them at craft shows or any place you can buy handmade things like Etsy. So I'm going to show you how we're going to get this skillet clean. Now the first thing we're going to do is take some hot water and we're going to start loosening all this hard stuck on egg as much as we can. So we're going to pour hot water in there. And this isn't boiling water. This is just a little bit warmer than tap water. You wouldn't want to shock a cold skillet. If your skillet was cold, you wouldn't want to pour hot water in there. That's a no-no, and that can shock it and break it sometimes. Another thing that you also don't want to do is soak your cast iron skillet in water because it will rust. So I'm just pouring some pretty warm water in there, and then taking the handy dandy scraper, and I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape around and loosen up as much as I can to begin with. That hot water is just going to help everything to soften up a little bit. And it's all scraping off quite nicely. This scraper has some serrated edges, and those are really good for going around the edges of your pan. Just scrape. Until you think you've pretty much scraped off everything that's going to come up this time around. I think I have everything that I'm going to get up with this scraper. So we're going to go over to the sink, and I'm going to put my stopper in to catch all this scrambled egg residue, and we're going to work on it with the scrubby and the kosher salt. Here's the next step. I'm going to go ahead and pour this, and you can see we've got quite a bit of it out of there, but there's still more stuck around, especially the edges and in the corner here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your coarse salt and you're going to sprinkle a generous amount of coarse salt in your pan, and then take your scrubby and you're just going to gently exfoliate all this egg off of there. I'm not scrubbing hard. Sometimes it helps to do it in a circular motion. and it's lifting all the little bits and pieces of egg that were left in the skillet. You can see how much better this side looks. So we're going to go around the whole skillet and do that. See, it's working quite well. Just go around. And it works better if your skillet is a little bit dry. The salt has more scrubbing power if it's not saturated with water. I've almost got it all. I'm gonna go ahead and get the edges. Normally I would put this right down in the sink and scrub it in there, but for the sake of you being able to see it, and I'm just gonna finish it up here on the counter and clean up my mess afterwards. And give it one more all over scrub. And you can see that that is very clean. I've still got a couple little spots, so I'm going to add a touch more salt and work at getting those last few spots. And there it is. I'm going to give it a good rinse. And that is a clean skillet. And now it needs re-seasoned, so we're going to head back over to the stove and I'm going to show you how to properly re-season your pan. Our clean skillet is back on the stove. It's still wet, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get it dry. Take a paper towel and turn on your heat and just wipe out all the moisture. And we're going to let the pan warm up just a little bit. You want to make sure it's completely dry. And then you're going to come in with the oil of your choice. I like to use a very refined avocado oil. And you're just going to put a very small amount in the pan. And while your heat is still on, you're going to take another paper towel. I like to use a good paper towel that doesn't leave lint. And you're going to make a thin layer of oil all over in the pan. And as the pores of your cast iron open up, they're going to bond with this oil, and the process is called polymerization, which is just a fancy word for seasoning. It is the non-stick coating that happens when your cast iron and your oil bond together. And then I like to take one more paper towel and just do a quick wipe to make sure that there's no oil residue. If you leave too much oil in the pan, instead of getting a non-stick coating, you're gonna get a thick, tacky coating in your pan, and food is gonna stick to it. You won't have a non-stick coating. And the pan is sufficiently warm, and the oil is spread, and the excess oil is wiped out. So I'm just gonna turn off the heat under the skillet, and I am just gonna leave the pan there to cool, and it will be ready to use the next time you wanna cook something in it. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.